There's actually some positive news for everything related to the Wyatt Sicks, so we'll see what's being said there. We'll also see what's being revealed by Bianca Belair, Jey Uso, and more. Starting things off with Jey Uso versus Gunther at WrestleMania 41. This is the main event matchup for the Raw brand at WrestleMania, but the hot topic of discussion in recent weeks amongst the fans was if Jey versus Gunther truly deserves the Night 1 headlining spot or not. Triple H was the one that really blew the lid off the conversation when he admitted that at the press conference that the Night 1 main event spot is pretty much up for grabs for whichever story is the hottest and gets the most momentum heading into WrestleMania 41. And as the weeks build up continue to go by, fans have been discussing that Roman, Punk, and Rollins may have no titles up for grabs, but a lot of fans think that program is still much hotter with the momentum right now than the Gunther versus Jey Uso program. So if there's any match for the entire card that has the best odds of stealing the main event spot from Jey and Gunther, it surely looks like the men's triple threat match is that top contender. Well, Jey Uso recently sat down with the Daily Mail, and he acknowledged that idea of losing the main event spot and his thoughts about the entire situation. Jey had this to say about the main event spot at WrestleMania 41. Quote, WrestleMania, night 1 or 2, whichever match I'm on. I don't care if I'm on last. I don't care if I open it up. I'm going to go out there and they're going to remember my match. So that's all I'm focused on. This is a once-in-a-lifetime shot. That's how I'm looking at it, because this might not ever come back around in my career. End quote. So that's the Jey's outlook on the situation. He's not too stressed about the positioning of the match. He just looks at it as a blessing to be competing for a world title on the WrestleMania stage. So first match of the night, middle of the card, or the closer, Jey's just happy to be there and views it as potentially a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As far as the main event spot goes, everyone knows Jey Uso versus Gunther has an absolute 0% chance of headlining night 2 of WrestleMania 41. That night 2 is absolutely going to Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, without a single doubt in anyone's mind. So the night 2 spot is completely scratched out and off the board in this conversation. It's the night 1 headlining spot that has the most wiggle room to be switched up and feature a different match outside of Jey and Gunther. Judging by what Triple H said and judging by the potential night 1 WrestleMania main event solely based off story momentum, this would be the rankings. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins in the number 1 spot. Again, no title on the line, but it's a match with long history and deep storytelling that also has other dynamics featured inside of it, such as Paul Heyman's relationship with both Punk and Roman. So that match feels rich for its story. It feels like it's the biggest match to take that night 1 main event spot. Second place in the rankings would be Jey Uso versus Gunther. It features a world title, it features the Royal Rumble winner, so you gotta give it that respect, even though the story has not been that rich or deep. And then in third place for the night 1 spot, you could put either of the women's world title matches, Tiffany versus Charlotte, or the women's world triple threat between Iyo, Rhea, and Bianca. So in terms of momentum right now for that night 1 spot, that's the momentum rankings at the moment. There's still several weeks left before WrestleMania, so those rankings could continue to fluctuate if certain stories get hotter than others in the coming weeks. We spoke earlier in the week here on Wrestling World CC about Bianca Belair crashing out on the fans that were still suspicious of her playing a role in the Jade Cargill attack. Bianca had a full rant across her social media platforms, just calling out all those fans for their accusations and calling all their evidence to be fake and all make-believe. But Bianca Belair also crashed out online recently during a battle of words with Rhea Ripley that picked up right where they left off at on Raw. Bianca said that she's going through a lot of rough things at the moment with Jade Cargill and Naomi, and told Rhea Ripley that she was childish to throw that in her face like that. And Bianca calling Rhea childish is interesting because you know who else called Rhea childish in recent memory? It was Charlotte Flair. So by Bianca also calling Rhea Ripley childish, Bianca is basically co-signing with something that a big heel said. Is this a little sign that Bianca's mindset is slowly converting to a heel one? That may be a reach, but it's just interesting to note that the only other person to call Rhea childish lately just happen to be a big heel themselves. Bianca says she keeps getting herself caught up in her emotions, and it keeps landing her in these difficult situations. Bianca noted to Rhea that she's just trying to mind her own business, but it's like if everyone wants Bianca to crash out. Rhea Ripley says Bianca would have been minding her own business if she stayed in the backstage area during Rhea and Iyo's title match and didn't get in between it. Bianca ended the argument with Rhea by saying that Rhea did not win the chamber, nor was she the champion right now. So Bianca said she had no reason why she was even talking to Rhea at the moment. So out of the three women in this triple threat match, who's the most intriguing character at the moment? We gotta give the edge to Bianca Belair because this is a character that's literally going through a lot at the moment. And like she continues to tease and hint at, it really does seem like she's one bad moment away from absolutely crashing out and just losing her mind. You have the situation she's going through with her best friends, Naomi and Jade, going to battle with each other so brutally right now before her eyes. All that hurt and betrayal from the both of them that she's still trying to comprehend even till this day. Then you got Bianca's battle with the fans, and all these people pointing fingers at her for what happened between Jade and Naomi, and all the suspicion towards Bianca's name, which is also stressing her out. Now you've got Rhea and Iyo also getting under Bianca's skin and irking her with all that childish drama, as she labels it. So you look at the world surrounding Bianca's character, and you can see that she's overloaded. It's so much pressure. There's just too much happening there right now. Anyone would basically fold under the pressure and circumstances that Bianca's under right now. And then you have Bianca constantly posting what appears to be these cries for help. She has said now multiple times over the last few weeks that she feels like everyone is manipulating her, that people are purposely trying to make her go crazy and just lose it. So Bianca's acknowledged that several times over the last few days. But the big question here that remains to be seen is if Bianca will give in to those urges. She has that darkness, that evilness inside her that's ready to come to surface. But will she use it? Will she just snap on both Naomi and Jade and attack the two of them? Will she snap on both Rhea and Iyo? Bianca views Rhea and Iyo as close friends as well, but maybe she learned from the Jade and Naomi situation that she shouldn't exactly be trusting any friends at the moment. So maybe Bianca strikes first on Rhea and Iyo and turns it up a notch on both of them to really lock it in for WrestleMania 41. And in terms of big updates for Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Sicks, their status for the next few Smackdowns that take place overseas still remains questionable and up in the air. But according to a new report from WrestleVotes, they may continue to be missing from television during the road to WrestleMania, but they claim that Alexa Bliss and Wyatt Sicks are set for a big segment and moment at WrestleMania 41 that will reportedly give the big twisted reveal of what Alexa and the Wyatts have been up to all along. So things may continue to stay quiet there for this story on SmackDown over the next few weeks. But Wyatt and Alexa fans shouldn't worry, because a big returning moment is now being rumored for the WrestleMania stage. No better stage to return at than WrestleMania itself, so hopefully that report is true. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.